Hello Aries, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess, here to do your monthly reading for the month of September. Thank you very much if you've subscribed to my channel. If you haven't, I'd be more than happy to have you on board. I'm a little overwhelmed at the moment about how my videos are being watched, and I'm so glad that I can bring messages to you and they are resonating with people. So Aries, what is happening for you? I might just give these a bit of a good shuffle this time because I'm up about halfway of the readings and I always worry that they're not getting a good enough shuffle. And it looks like I can't shuffle, doesn't it? But actually I'm a good shuffler. But I think I've done a few too many. I'll have to take a coffee break after this reading. Okay, what's coming up for Aries for the month of September? Oh, I'm using the Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti, which is that one. I'm sure you're all familiar. A lot of people use this on YouTube. I do want to say, if my readings aren't resonating, sometimes you can move to another aspect of your birth chart. So your moon, rising or ascendant, and your Venus. Sometimes it's good to watch all of them because you get a really, really good rounded reading. And sometimes, some months, my readings just won't resonate and then you need to move on to another reader. So, Aries, September, what's happening for you guys? Okay, bottom of the deck, the World. Okay, would make sense to me you guys are closing out a circle this month in September. The reason I say this is because everybody's been through huge changes. Just coughing the frog out of my throat. We've had so many retrogrades, we've had eclipses, we've had everybody working on everything that's inside of them to make themselves better people. And what I will say to you is now, understanding that you're getting to the end of a cycle would make sense to me. Now it could mean for some of you you're travelling and you're travelling overseas, because sometimes the world shows travel. But I think for many of you, this is a time now where you've got to a point where you've got rid of what didn't serve you anymore, and you're in this sort of nice little wait for the next cycle of your life. So it could be that you've recognized that you have been cycling on some things like relationships, because that seems to be very much a way of how things have been going at the moment. So maybe you've been able to finish these cycles and not have to go back to doing them again. Okay, first card out. Do you know you're the fourth sign that's got the Ten of Wands straight out? That is absolutely amazing. And like I can tell you now, I've had things like this happen before. I change decks and the same cards come out. So I know that it's a time for a lot of people to put down their burdens. A lot of you have done good work on yourself. You know, you've uncovered a lot of these secrets, like behind the moon here. You know, you're carrying a lot of weight now, Aries, and it would make sense if you're coming to the end of a cycle because you are ready to put these down. Is your back sore? Because I'm thinking a lot of you have sore backs at the moment from carrying this much weight. But whatever it is, time to put it down. Time to sit back after all your good work and appreciate what you've done. And look at you, you're being rewarded big time. Something is coming in for you here. Now, if you're already in a relationship, this can talk about moving to the next level. So maybe you've got it where you're going to ask someone to marry you or move in with you. Maybe you're just going to ask someone out. Maybe you've realized you're in love with someone, or maybe they've realized they're in love with you. Whatever this is, and it could be about career, it could be that you're putting all these burdens down because you're not doing what you love to do and now you're moving towards that. Whatever this is, it's a beautiful thing. You're moving towards something you really want in September. Okay, next card out is the Four of Pentacles. Now, it's the first time I've seen this one today. Okay, Aries, warning here, don't hang on to the past. I know you've got these burdens and we know that you're finishing out a cycle, but don't hang on to what's gone. It does not serve you anymore. It's time to put it down. I'm having a bit of a chuckle here because I'm still in my dressing gown and I don't tell anybody. So the Four of Pentacles, it talks about hanging on to stuff. Now, it could be hanging on to your money because you want to move into another job, sure. But this feels more like you're hanging on to past hurts or past issues. And I know with the world you're closing this out. Please don't feel you need to hang on to this stuff. Throw it out. Get rid of it. You don't need it anymore. It doesn't belong to you. So next card out is the Six of Swords, and this definitely talks about you moving to a different time, somewhere where you are moving into more calmer times. And again, this sits beautiful with this. You know, in order to reach this, you know, you've had to put your burdens down. You're moving towards some sort of love or something. This may be love of self after all the work you've done. And I mean, this stuff here that this guy's holding in the Four of Pentacles might be all the shit you've accumulated in your life. You know, you may have had lots of thoughts about yourself that weren't true, and now you're really loving who you are. Put it down and move on, because it's taking you somewhere you need to go. Okay, in fact, you very hot and sexy Aries might have lots of choices of love. You may have lots of people that you can go towards. I certainly don't feel this is a card of confusion. I feel it's a card of I've opened my world up and put all my stuff down, and look at me now. I'm moving into, you know, a time when I have all these offers and all these opportunities, and it's like, you know, putting your burdens down and starting this new cycle has opened your world for so many things. But you've got to put this stuff down first. Okay, and you've got to be, here's another call with the Four of Pentacles is, you know, don't be, you know, defending yourself. While we need to put in some work at, you know, making sure we've got boundaries in place, and sure, this card can be the card of, you know, putting boundaries in place, but it's also the card of not being defensive. You need to learn from the lessons. Don't take these bad things with you. You know, this Four of Pentacles can talk about, you know, things that we've learned. Oh, I'm going to break the house down here. These things we've learned in the past. These may be things that we've thought about ourselves, or we've learned from our childhood, or, you know, they may be things that are not true about us, and we need to put them down. And certainly this card here talks about not being defensive. It talks about being able to put those things down. It talks about you don't have to fight anymore. You've done the hard yards now. It's time to reap rewards in that Ace of Cups. And look what you're bringing in if you do that. So I feel like you're probably going to play the field for a little while here, Aries. You've probably got lots of opportunity with people, but I think you've got your sights set on one person. And this person could very, very well be a soulmate. There's someone who sees eye to eye with you. There's someone that's meant to be with you for whatever reason. It definitely feels like love to me. So maybe you needed to put down some of your restrictions, your limitations, the things that were holding you back. You know, people had told you about low self-esteem, low confidence. Maybe you were hanging on to all that, but now you're getting rid of it and you're moving on. Because look what it brings in for you next. It brings in the Ten of Cups. Now that means that this little journey here that you've been doing has actually brought you back to your heart. It's brought you back to who you really are. And now you're able to go out to find this beautiful, you know, home, person, love that you've been looking for. And I feel like a lot of you have been on a journey to find that. And in comes the Magician. Okay, so don't be thinking about what you haven't got and hanging on to things that don't serve you anymore. Because actually you have everything you need. You're very well rounded. You have the ability to manifest whatever it is you want at the moment. This is you in all your glory, being able to bring in what you want. So now you've let down all these things you didn't want, and you let go of all these things you thought you were. You're now bringing in this person that you truly are, and that's karmic for you. It's a karmic journey you've been on. You've let go of all the things in your life that don't serve you, and now you're bringing in what you really want, and that's true love, happiness, stability, a home. And you can bring that in. You have lots of choices around that and how you do it. The confusion is no longer there. You have learned to let your defences down and move after this true love that you've been after. But having the Justice card here says to me this was the journey you were on, and you're nearing the end of that journey for that cycle. That's a beautiful reading, Aries. I can't really read it any other way. Sometimes I look at things and think, no, it's a bit of a career reading. No, it's a family problem. This is a journey for love. This is definitely a journey where you've put down all these things about yourself you believed, and you're starting to understand your true value, your worth. You've realised you're You're worthy of all these things, and you know, and once you've made your mind up and you move towards that, this love just comes straight in for you here. Love, happiness, commitment, stability, and what it is, you've paid your karma. You're getting back what you deserve without any doubt whatsoever. Aha. Okay. I love you, Spirit. Thank you. So the card that's come out for you is Fire. And it talks about letting go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the present. How very apt, Aries. You've given away all this stuff that didn't serve you, and now look what you're being given. This justice is coming in for you now. What you want is at your fingertips. Have a great September. Lovely reading, Aries. Thank you.